What's up, Dynamic Gang? If you are new to the channel, you already know what to do. So, making this quick video just to let people know that I was going to do a video today, but when I bought from Beast Kingdom Batman, which is a 1980, was that 1982 or 1986 Batman with Michael Keaton, the action figure. I mean, it looks dope. It was so cool. But the problem was when I opened the box and it was completely sealed. The right, I think it's the right foot, where the toes are, it's completely gone. So I got to bring it back to Walmart tomorrow, and then hopefully I didn't see another one of those. So I don't know when I'm going to be making a video on that one, but I mean, it looked just like it. And to make a long story short, the reason why I do a lot of Hasbro, and it's not because Hasbro sponsors me and all this other stuff. I don't. The reason why I pick Hasbro is because it's cheap. It's cheap to buy these figures and to do a review on, so that other people could buy the figures too. If I was to buy really expensive stuff, the majority of people that are struggling out here, they're not going to have money to go out and buy it. And a lot of the stuff that I buy won't be at Ross. Some of the Marvel Legends are at Ross or DD discount stores. So there's in Target, so when I do Hasbro, it's, you have more outlets that carry Hasbro than, if you buy, like the street, GameStop now is starting to have a lot more toys. But I digress. What I'm saying is a lot of the Iron Studios, a lot of the other stuff that I buy, that you'd have to go to either, the toy stores themselves, which are, they're not going to really go easy on you when it comes to the price. But at least with Hasbro, they put their stuff in Target. They put their stuff in Walmart. You get them at GameStop. You get them at Ross. You get it at DD discount stores. So when I do a review, I don't just show off and be like, oh, look what I got. I want you, if you want, obviously you're here because you're looking at a toy to be like, wow, that looks kind of dope. I like the way the scheme is. I like how the articulation is. The point of articulations. And, you look at it, I know I do from a lot of other channels before I go out and I spend like $40, or $30, depending on what Hasbro you're getting. Because I've seen the Maximum series where I think it goes up to like $60, or the Gameverse is like $70 because you get like the two characters. Although the Thanos and Psylocke one, I think that's up to $100. And then go to Hasbro Pulse. All right, that's the app, and they have the Sentinel. I think was it Sentinel Wolverine, the one where the rocket punch comes out. You could get that for $100, but it's not going to be until next year of July 2027. But they're doing the pre-orders now. And you don't need to have, I don't think you need to have a membership to do that. I think you could just prepay it. The only problem is you got to do the $100 now. It's not like Big Bad Toy Store where you can, unless you put like $50 down, when you're going to Big Bad Toy Store, some of them will say, hey, non-refundable $50 to put down on this just in case you cancel the order. But to make a long story short, that's why I do Hasbro, because it is the cheaper alternative. And the reason I don't do G.I. Joe Hasbro is because if I'm going to do the G.I. Joe Hasbro, I'm going to go all out. I'm going to go back to how it was in the vintage. I'm going to get the 3.75 scales, and but I don't really like, the figures are awesome. The only way I will get the figures is what comes with the vehicles, because I'm more of a vehicle kind of guy. I love vehicles. Like, I love Millennium Falcon. I love the X-Wing. I love the TIE Fighters. I don't really fuck with Star Wars figures, and it's not anything to do with Star Wars because I love Star Wars, but it's just the figures themselves was like, I'm more of a vehicle kind of guy. And it's kind of funny because if you notice, I don't really collect a lot of Transformers neither. Like I'll do Studio 86 Transformers. And the only reason I like that is because I was more into He-Man and Thundercats, G.I. Joe, and Transformers was fun, but it wasn't like it didn't hit me like Thundercats and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, G.I. Joe, He-Man. So, but I would say my favorite out of all of them is probably Thundercats and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and then you got G.I. Joe, and then He-Man. And the reason I don't really mess with He-Man is because when I was a kid growing up, I was reading Conan way before He-Man. So, and I was messing with the A-Team way before He-Man. So Mr. T was really big on my scope. So when He-Man came out and I was, and I was a kid, I was like, okay, yeah, I like that. I have the power, that was pretty cool. But I had Conan and I had Mr. T. You don't need He-Man. I don't need He-Man. Plus you had Superman. Superman was basically, He-Man is like a wannabe Superman with a sword. I mean, that's basically what it is. I don't know. I just never like He-Man. He-Man's a pretty solid character, but there's a lot of influences you see in him. When you see Superman, you see Conan, you see, the magic, the sorcering, so I don't know, man. Like it's fun. But it wasn't like one of those things where I'm like, oh, I got to collect He-Man. I was like, I collected it when I was younger. But you want to talk about molds being reused? Every damn body of He-Man looked the same. There was no, like I hate when people complain about, oh, Hasbro's reusing this. Hasbro's reusing that. Hasbro's doing it. Like, I'm not an advocate for Hasbro because they don't sponsor me. But it's like, every company does that. And if you're going to attack if you're going to attack Marvel Legends, then you need to go after He-Man because every damn body looked the same. The arms looked the same. They, they would snap off and you could, I don't know, man. I don't understand why people really go after Hasbro because every company reuses something. And that's just how it is. But I get it. Hasbro is up to almost $30 now for the Marvel Legends. So, I don't know, man. But anyway, that's the reason I collect Hasbro, because it's cheap. It's a cheap alternative than the Mafax. What was that? Was that the Mafax? Mafax? They're like each figure's about $100, maybe $120, depending on what you're getting. And yeah, I just think it's easier to collect Marvel Legends because Marvel Legends, you could find them at Walmart, you can find them at Target, you can find them at Ross, you can find them at DD discount stores. Did I say GameStop? I don't know if I did or not, but you could find them all over. And there's also, I've seen them at Best Buy, and I've seen them. Oh wow, what was the other place? There was like this other little, like at the mall place that I see them at. I don't know, but I think the best bet for like kids starting to get into it, like I want to say young adults, was definitely Hasbro. The Marvel Legends. I'm a Toy Biz. I love Toy Biz. I thought they did a great job with the Build-A-Figures, but they lost the license, so Hasbro took it over. So could have been worse, I guess. But anyway, that's all I got. I'll put the video up to show you about the Batman thing that I was telling you about with the foot being all broken, and that's the reason why I didn't do the video. So Hopefully Walmart, because the one I went to, they didn't have it. They didn't have another one. So maybe when I get my money from there, maybe I could go over to a different one and then but the toy itself is like it looks awesome. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I love y'all. I hope y'all have a good night, a good day. I don't know what time you're watching this, but just know that there are people in this world that have went through a rough life, and you're not the only one. And if you're going through something, you know, there's always somebody you could talk to. You know what I'm saying? And the only reason I say this is because I had a friend of mine just recently went through a rough time, and he's on a very dark path, man. He's doing a lot of drugs, And the problem with somebody doing a lot of drugs is you can't help that person until that person wants to be helped. And what I mean by that is they have to help themselves first. They have to want to help themselves first. So the times are tough. But I know collecting is sort of like a drug. But like I tell everybody, lottery tickets, alcohol, you're smoking your cigarettes, all that stuff, once you buy it, it's gone. Unless you hit the lottery, and then, you know, that's pretty good. But for the most part, you can't get your money back. At least with collecting toys, you can get something back. You know? And that's what I tell people. I'm like, yeah, you can say what you want about me, but I'm not investing. This is not an investment. But if I go to sell the damn thing, at least I get something back. Maybe I'll break even. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll make some money on it. But I'm not collecting to have that in my mind to be like, oh, I'm gonna, you know, this is like gold, so I'm investing in it. No. But at least I'll get something back. But anyway, thank you so much, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace. This toy looks absolutely crazy. And it's made by Beast Kingdom. So I'm definitely going to go to that website and I'm going to check out some of their other stuff. That's crazy. All right, let's open this up. All right, so here's one star. This toy looks ridiculous. That is awesome. There's metal in the cape, so you can fold it and make your displays. It's pretty flexible, actually. It's pretty good. And just like the movie, his head suckies. He didn't turn his head neither in the movies. It's pretty cool. Let's see. Double jointed. Put that right there. Wait, what? Oh. Wow. It's supposed to be a piece. Wow. That's crazy.